Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coding My Way In. I'm here today giving you guys an update on where my first ever project is going so far. For those that are new to the channel, I started this journey on February 1st. I'm learning how to code, and my goal is to give myself a year to become a full stack developer. And I decided, as for my first project ever, I wanted to do something that I'm a fan of, and I'm actually a fan of Nissan vehicles. And I decided to make a website of Nissan. So what I decided to do was use their official website as inspiration and to add the functionalities that they have that I like, and then be able to add certain things that I might like to make differently. So this is their official website, and as you can see, is a very nice website. I'm a very big fan of the footer. I was able to make it. I think I'm going to do something. I'm definitely going to do something different for this mid section. I think I'm just going to make a grid column with the different vehicles, and then I'm going to be able to make them display based on the screen size. So I think that's what eventually what I'm going to do here. And here I like the when you come into the website, you see this. I like how it is justified to the end. I like the logo being there. I like this. When you click, the categories of the vehicles change. And not only that, when you click on the vehicles, the background of the background changes based on the vehicle that you click. And I'm a very big fan of that. So I like also when you is responsive. So when you make it smaller, the menu changes and it does this drop down, which is very cool. So this is how their website looks. This is what they have. And now let me show you guys an update on where I'm at with my current project. So let me open this, and this is their website, and this is my website. So this is where I'm at so far. So last week, you guys saw that the website was still not responsive, and I was able to change the categories of the vehicles by the clicks. However, I was still not able to, when I clicked the images, to change the background images, and I was able to do that finally this week, and it was a great accomplishment. So as you can see, when you click the categories, now not only I'm able to do that, but when you click the vehicles within the image, you get the change of the vehicles, which was such a great accomplishment. Now, of course, it doesn't have like the sliding effect that they do. I'm going to be honest, I tried, man, I really tried, and I was not able to figure this out. I really struggled, and I just decided to take my small win. And so yes, we get the change of the images, but I don't get that effect that I want that they have when you do it. It looks a lot smoother. So that's the one thing that I still need to add, but I was able at least to get the functionality of when I click on my website, the vehicles change, which is what honestly, that's really what I wanted. So I was able to do that, and it was such a great accomplishment, and I'm going to tell you guys how I did that. And then the footer, nothing has changed. I did change the font size, but other than that, I was able to do that. And not only that, I was also able to make the website responsive. So when the screen size changes, you guys see the menu, it changes. And when you click, I was able to do this. When I click, it flex column, it drops, and if you click, when you toggle, which is the definition, it works. So I'm very proud of that. And then when you see, you can still see the vehicles, you can still change them. And then the footer is responsive. I was able to make that happen as well. And it was great. And I really had a very productive week, man. I really put in work. I really wanted to push this update for this video like as much as I could. Like, man, I really need to bring it. So I still need to make the vehicles. I think I'm just going to have to need a new image, because as you can see here on their website, they get a different shot so I think I'm gonna have to get like the different images that they have as the screen size gets smaller. So I'm gonna have to work on that. But the main functionality is that I wanted it. I wanted it to be responsive. As the screen gets smaller, the menu changes, and then we can toggle. And then I was able to add this effect, this transition. When you click it, like this little rotate, which is good. And then I was able to do work on the opacity. And when I click the menu, it's the transition of the background color is smooth. It's not like fast, which is not what I want. I want something like this, smooth, that works and makes sense. And I wanted to make it responsive. And as you can see, I'm using the different sizes to make sure the website is responsive. It looks good. You see everything is nice and neat. And I learned a lot this week about how useful is Tailwind when it comes to making things responsive. And the way that I added this opacity effect for the website to come in, when I click the button, I started using, I did that actually yesterday. I read the documentation of this library called Framer Motion. It lets you do effects, and it has a lot of things that you can do. And it was very useful. It's the beginning stages of the library. Is very easy to use the basic stuff, but which is what I need. I didn't need nothing crazy, so I was very proud. I was able to come here, read the documentation, and see how it works. And going back to Tailwind, I like the responsive design. They actually have already set breakpoints by default. So the best way that I can explain it is like if you want to change for example, the text. If I wanted to do this text to make it smaller as the screen changes, what I will do is, as you can see, they have small, and this is their pixel. Medium, this is their pixel. Large, so it's already set up. So if you put this text, you put small, I don't know, you put small, when the text gets smaller, something like this, right? This portion here is telling, when the screen becomes less than 640 pixels, change the text to this size. And you can do that with a lot of different things. You can also do it with you can make when the page gets bigger, you can make a flex column or a flex row. The options to do this is endless. So I was able to get very familiar with this. At first it was a little bit difficult for me to understand it, but the more that I did it, it became easier. So man, when it comes to responsive design, whatever team is on Tailwind, man, they know what they're doing. It's such a great tool, and I'm very happy that I'm using it. I enjoy it a lot more than using simple CSS. You can still use it, and some people are not a fan of it because it becomes plagued with a bunch of codes. But if you know what you're doing, you know the platform, it becomes very useful. That way you don't need to do a back and forth when you're working between your styles and your elements. So I'm a fan of it, and I'm going to be using Tailwind moving forward for all my projects. Of course, if I need to use SAS and things when eventually I start working as a software engineer, if they need me to do it, of course I'm willing to do it. I have no issues. But for my personal projects, I don't see why anyone shouldn't be using Tailwind. And again, I understand some people don't like the messiness, but there's literally an extension that you can install on VS Code, and it will literally shorten it so you don't even see all that. So there's ways around it. So the way that I wanted to show you guys about the website, mine, I wanted to do this, right? This effect that as the screen gets smaller, this changes, right? And I initially had a bunch of, if you go back to my previous code, my previous video, you see that I had a bunch of unlisted ULs and listed items stacked. And it just doesn't look professional. I don't see people doing it that way. And even for me, even though I'm new to this, I knew, man, there has to be a more professional way to do this. And as you can see here, I started doing my research and seeing how people do it. And what eventually I saw, instead of me having a bunch of ULs stacked on top of each other, what I saw that a lot of people do is, oh, they just make a component within a component. So as you can see here, I decided to create a nav links, and within it, I brought my nav links and from the React Router DOM, and they could have been links, but I decided to put nav link. And what I did was, okay, I made a list of component. I made this component, and I put it within a fragment, so I could pass that into my, and you can see here, vehicle, shop, electric, the same menu. So everything is here, nothing changed. And then I wanted to style this one, and I was able to do it. So you have that freedom as well. So I was able to style this button. So I basically had to do my list items for the menus. I had to redo it. I had to get rid of the entire thing because it just didn't work. What I wanted to do, it was very difficult to implement that way. But with this, I was able to do it. So again, I made a component within a component, and I was able to have this information here. And then when I get to the menu here, I just pass it here, right here. So I literally passed, instead of spamming with a bunch of ULs and LIs, I did it here at the top. I passed it here, and now I have this information. So again, this information that you see here is this. So don't confuse this with this. So what I did was, with a ternary operator, I did the, as you can see here, when you toggle the nav bar, it opens and closes the icons. But this is not this information. I had to pass that information again here. So I did is open, because as you can see here, I have the state here, which helped me set the state, and then I have the function for me to be able to toggle it. So as you can see here, I did the nav here, yeah, and then I passed it within this section alongside the button. So when I pass it, if it's open, I pass it here again. And as you can see here in the class, I'm able to do the flex column, so it becomes a column. So I'm able to pass the same component that I did here. I was able to pass it here, and then make a switch when the screen size changes. And then boom, here's it happens again. Now to get this effect, when I click, I was not able to do it like through Tailwind. So that's when I was faced with the issue. You know what? Let me try Framer Motion. I've heard good things about it to add the animation, and it was very simple to use. So you import it once you install it. Here it is, and then literally what you do, whatever you're trying to tackle, you just write motion in front of it. So you see this button, it was just a button. It was just button. But when you add motion dot to whatever you're trying to do, then you can add these properties. And then I was able to add that while tap, when I click, it does this little rotate to 20 degrees, and it gives you that nice effect, this little jumping effect. And then what I was able to do as well, not only that, I did it as well here for this div that I wanted. When I click this toggle, I want the background color to like drop down nicely and smooth. And the way that it works is the opacity. You're playing with the opacity. So I was over here, the initial opacity is 0, and by the end is whatever I gave, which is here. And again, Tailwind has a lot of help, a lot of resources if you want to do like a gradient, and I was able to do that passing with this information. And yeah, that's basically where I'm at so far. Now, when you go to the website, I can make not only can I change the categories, I can now, when I click the vehicles, I can select the ones that I want. And the best part of all, now the website now is responsive. So as you can see here, as the screen gets smaller, boom, now I can do this, and it makes the website look even better. There's some things that I have to change, but so far, man, I'm very proud of what I've done so far. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.